we're back, and we're going to talk a little Jets quickly. Just want to be pretty frank. The Jets, the reality on offense struck last week. I think Fitzpatrick struggled. They made the Eagles look like a lot better team than they were. And I think the Jets kind of got a little humbled. I think that 2-0 start was not a fluke, but it was a little bit of a okay, let's see you play a little bit more. What'd you think about Fitzpatrick last weekend, bro?
Struggled.
Yeah.
I think that's an understatement. He looked pitiful out there. He was just... I'd rather see Geno Smith limping around out there than watch Fitzpatrick for another week.
Oh, my gosh. And what was Brandon Marshall thinking? I think that might have been the dumbest... It's got to be top 5 dumbest plays ever. If you didn't see it, Brandon Marshall catches a pass for, 15, 20 yards... And all of a sudden, as he's getting tackled, decides to flip it back to who was it? Was it the tight end?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. He just tried to do it back.
They had no business being in the play. And there's a defender right there. He tosses it right into the defender's shoulder pads.
A classic case of a veteran receiver who's trying to do just too much.
Doesn't
have a quarterback who knows what he's doing. So he gets the ball. He's on it. He's got a little. He's got some speed going downfield, and he wants to score because he knows that. Down on the goal line, anything could happen with Fitzpatrick running the show.
Oh, that bothers me so much. All these wide receivers and even defensive backs, you'll see they catch the ball and all they want to do is score. They're reckless. They hold the ball with one hand. It's like, geez, you're gonna drive me nuts. They just want to score. They see that end zone. They don't care how they're gonna get there. They'll do anything.
That one almost wasn't even the only play that bothered me. I mean, that kind of stood out because the media definitely covered it more. But they were, I believe, the Jets were down 10, and they had about roughly 3 or 4 minutes left. And Marshall had a pretty not too easy, but he had a catch on the sidelines. I don't know if you guys were watching, but he had a catch where one of the Eagles receivers was defending him, and it seemed like it was just one of those catches he should have had, and then it ended up getting picked off, and it was one of Fitzpatrick's picks, and it just totally was not his fault, and that wasn't even talked about that much, but then that just deflated the whole entire situation in the game.
But I mean, let's be honest, Fitzpatrick he did not look good, and I think the Eagles look better as a team. Obviously, without DeMarco Murray. I mean, they look good. DeMarco Murray's just been... Don't even get me started. But the Eagles look better, but they gave the Jets a lot of chances down the game. They're turning the ball over. The Jets had plenty of chances to score. Just Fitzpatrick, honestly, just couldn't get it done. I mean, they didn't have Decker and they didn't have Ivory, so basically they gave him no run game, which hurts a quarterback that's not good. If you have a quarterback that's not good with no run game, that's a disaster waiting to happen in the NFL. But I think Decker coming back this week versus the Dolphins is going to be very good for the Jets. I like Decker a lot. I'm actually a huge Decker fan. I think he's the X factor. He's smart. He's a Wes Welker type receiver. What do you guys think with the Jets going to the Dolphins? What do you guys think of Decker coming back and Ivory coming back this week?
Yeah, I was going to say Ivory's going to be back too. I think it's going to be a slow-paced, really slow run game kind of game. I don't see either quarterbacks going off with those defenses.
Tannehill's looked awful too.
Yeah, I can't.
He's not even in top 15 quarterbacks.
I don't know. Besides the fact that this game is being played in London, and
good point.
Well, yeah, it is also a 9:30 a.m. game. Well, I don't know about you, but the game itself, even besides the time. Well, the time almost is telling that I'm going to be sleepy watching this game because I don't even think the Dolphins have looked good this year.
I'm telling you right now, everyone, the NFL loves this. London and, the NBA does it. The players freaking hate this.
Mike, maybe you shouldn't be waking up at 11 o'clock, all right? Have a cup of coffee at 8 for once.
Exactly.
Yeah, 8:30 game,
Mike,
get the coffee.
We'll wake you up for
the Fitzpatrick Tannehill.
I'm telling you right now, the players hate this. They got to go to London for a week.
They don't want to do this.
It's all off. It's weird. They just don't like it. It's one of those games. They're like, oh, we're playing in London this year. The GM says that. They're like, great. Like, they're not looking forward to it. I mean, the Dolphins, though, they're limping into this game. Obviously, they looked awful last week versus the Bills. Did they even score? Did they score last week versus the Bills? They might have scored, but even if they did, it was garbage points. 7 points in the fourth quarter when you're down 35-0. It doesn't matter. Obviously, their defense is playing, it's garbage time. But I think it's a bounce-back game, and they need to win these games. If they want to stay with the Patriots, make a run for this AFC East, they got to win these games.
Yeah, 41-14. They just lost at Buffalo.
Oh
So
my gosh, jeez. And you know that 14 points is a fluke. If you know that those are garbage points later in the game. I was watching the game. There was no rhythm, no anything. The Dolphins looked awful. They looked like the typical Dolphins.
yeah, that was all second half points. They didn't come to play.
Yeah, not at all.
Exactly. So let's just give a quick prediction. I'll give mine first. I got Jets 28, Dolphins 14. Not a fun game to watch. You know, just one of those. Let's run the ball. Let's give the English fans something to watch. This is football. They don't even know what's going on there.
Yeah, I got it at 14-10. I don't think much scoring is going to go on. I think maybe Tannehill will have a shot late in the game, but he'll blow it, and it'll just be a boring game all around. 14-10, Jets.
Okay.
And I got Jets 17-14 on this one, but I think the Jets are going to take the lead, and I think they're going to hold it for most of the game or all of the game, in my opinion. I just don't think the Dolphins are the team that the Jets are, even though the Jets just came off a pretty bad loss against the Eagles.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, that's enough football. I think what everyone really wants to talk about is this postseason. I love it. New York's fired up. We got both teams in contention. When we come back, we're going to start it off with the Mets. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. The Mets back in the postseason again with their power arms. They're coming to play. We're going to talk Mets playoffs when we come back.